All right, let's just get right into it. The SCP Foundation has locked up some truly bizarre things, right? We're talking reality benders, gods that shouldn't exist, things that literally rewrite the rules of physics. But today, we're looking at an object that, at least in theory, contains all of them. And everything else, for that matter. This is SCP-7288.
And this quote, pulled straight from the file, is really our whole starting point. I mean, just think about that for a second. It's a complete paradox. It perfectly sets the stage for the kind of conceptual nightmare the Foundation is dealing with. How do you contain something that holds what cannot exist? This isn't just about what's real or not. It's about containing the very concept of impossibility itself.
So, what are we actually looking at here? Let's break down the object itself, and more importantly, the frankly insane measures the Foundation has to take just to keep the lid on this thing.
On the surface, it's a box. A creepy-looking box with shifting patterns, sure, but still a box. But what's supposedly inside is just staggering. We're not just talking about every physical thing. We're talking about every single idea you've ever had, every dream you've forgotten, every possible alternate history, every single SCP in the Foundation's database, past, present, and even future. It's the ultimate terrifying archive of absolutely everything.
You can tell how dangerous an SCP is just by reading its containment procedures, and these tell one heck of a story. A triple-sealed chamber? That's pretty standard for the tough ones. But look closer. Cognitohazard-resistant plating, no direct human visual contact. That tells you the danger isn't physical. The very idea of this box, just looking at it can mess you up. That's why they use an AI for all the research, and why the staff nearby need their heads checked every single week. And then there's that last rule, the big one, the absolute one. Under no circumstances is it to be opened, ever.
And here's exactly why that last rule is written in blood, not ink. What do you think happens when a normal human mind is suddenly exposed to, well, everything? It's an instant, total psychic meltdown. The human brain it wasn't built for this. First, the whole system just crashes, catatonia. Then, as it tries to process this impossible flood of information, everything comes spilling out at once. You've got memories of the Big Bang, the heat death of the universe, and what you ate for breakfast this morning all mashed together. And the final stage, it's a complete loss of self. Your mind just dissolves into an infinite ocean of pure data. You cease to be you. These were the last words ever recorded from a D class who was told to open the box. That's not just random gibberish. It's a terrifyingly clear description of what it feels like to become everything and nothing all at the same time. And that last line, I am the joke that kills the teller, the punchline is ultimate knowledge. The price is your own existence. So you can see the problem this creates for the Foundation, right? This box is the ultimate dilemma. It represents their greatest dream and their absolute worst nightmare, all locked up together. I mean, just look at this. On one side, you have the prize, the answer to literally everything. What is SCP-001? How do we cure every anomalous disease? How do we stop every single K-class scenario? It's all in there. But the price is just as absolute. The mind that learns the answers is instantly and completely destroyed by them. It's the ultimate catch-22. And this right here, from an O5 Council memo, is the core logic for keeping it shut. It's the fundamental reason why they can never, ever use it. The very act of claiming the ultimate prize is also the act of destroying the person who claims it. It's a victory that erases the victor, which means it isn't a victory at all. But, of course, it gets worse. You see, the threat isn't just sitting there quietly in its chamber. The problem is that SCP-7288 can leak. And this changes everything. This means containment isn't just about locking up a physical box anymore. It's a conceptual problem. It's like tiny little fragments of everything can just pop out and take other forms. The containment problem just went from being about walls and locks to being about, ideas. And this is the perfect example. SCP-7288-A is a book, but it's not a book about the box. In a way, it is the box, just expressed as a story. It talks about the future as if it's already a memory, and because the Foundation reads it, they are subconsciously pushed into making that future actually happen. It's a tiny piece of the box's all-knowing nature, basically weaponized as a narrative.
So if one tiny little fragment, one little leak can create a time loop like that, what could the whole thing do if it got out? This is where we start to really quantify the stakes.
This isn't just one boring old end-of-the-world scenario. It's a whole menu of them. You've got your EK class, where every thinking mind on Earth just switches off. A CZ class, where the very atoms that make up reality forget how to stick together. And then you have the big one, a ZK class reality failure. That's the ultimate game over, where the very concept of existence just fails. All of those apocalypses and more are packed inside that one little box.
To try and get a handle on this, the Foundation ran a simulation of what a full-scale breach would even look like. We're about to see some of the fragmented data they got back. Be warned, the feed gets pretty unstable.
And there it is. Immediate system failure. Logic just breaks down. The data itself starts contradicting itself. And here is where reality just shreds itself. The box isn't just open, it's open in the past, present, and future all at once. Your location is in multiple states simultaneously. People aren't just people anymore, they're overlapping identities. Even time itself becomes meaningless, registering every possible moment and no moment at all.
This is the final horrifying realization from the site director inside that simulation. The physical box was never the real danger. The true anomaly was the idea of a box that contained everything. And by trying to contain it, they were just playing a part in a script that was already written inside the box itself. Their only hope was to just keep acting.
And then the fundamental concepts of reality just nullify. First, time ceases to exist. There's no before, there's no after, there's just nothing.
Next, containment. The Foundation's entire reason for being is erased. There's nothing to secure, nothing to contain, nothing to protect. And finally, the observer, the self, individuality, you. It becomes null. It is gone. Which leaves us with one last twisting thought. The file for SCP-7028, this very explainer, it's all a paradox. It describes something that contains everything, which would include the description of itself. By watching this, by learning about it, you are actively participating in its containment loop. You are playing your role in the performance. So the only question left is, does that make you a guard or a prisoner?